Dear friends, peace and blessings be upon you all. Have you ever heard of someone so immersed in worldly pursuits, so determined to challenge the natural order, that they spent their life trying to reshape creation itself? And yet amidst their pride and ambition, they witnessed something so profound, so transformative, that it led them to question their entire existence and embrace Islam. This is the extraordinary story of a scientist whose bizarre experiments earned him the title of the world's most insane scientist, but whose journey ultimately led him to the truth. If we study human history, we find great names who, through their intellect and hard work, brought countless conveniences to humanity. However, history has also witnessed individuals whose horrifying experiments made them enemies of humanity. Today we will discuss such a scientist, a man who attempted to create a hybrid of a human and a monkey, defying the natural boundaries set by Allah. What he witnessed in the end, however, changed his life forever. This scientist, Ivanov, hailed from Russia. In 1896, he graduated from Kharkiv University, specializing in veterinary medicine. It was during this time that Ivanov began experimenting with crossbreeding different species of animals to create new ones. Despite his failures, he became renowned for pioneering artificial insemination, a method that bypassed natural mating by introducing male animal sperm into females. This innovation brought him fame, and by the early 20th century, he was a leader in his field. Among his experiments, Ivanov conducted crossbreeding between a zebra and a donkey, and many other combinations. But what truly earned him the title of mad scientist was his effort to create a new species by crossbreeding a human with a monkey. He presented his hypothesis at an international zoology conference in Austria in 1910. At that time, he was only researching the concept, but later he began conducting real experiments on this idea in the Soviet Union, where atheism and the pursuit of worldly power reigned supreme. Ivanov found encouragement for his unholy work. Stalin himself sought to create an indomitable force of super soldiers. Ivanov's concept of crossbreeding humans and monkeys to create extraordinarily strong and fearless beings appealed to Stalin's vision. In 1924, Stalin instructed Ivanov to begin his experiments. For this purpose, Ivanov traveled to West Africa, supported by significant funding from the Russian Academy of Sciences, which provided him with $10,000, a substantial amount at the time. Initially, Ivanov attempted to fertilize chimpanzees with human sperm artificially. When this failed, he reversed the process, introducing chimpanzee sperm into human females. However, these attempts yielded no results. After years of trial and error, Ivanov reportedly succeeded in producing a hybrid creature that appeared half human and half monkey. Despite its hybrid nature, this being was physically weak and failed to meet the requirements of Ivanov's intended purpose, leading to the experiment being deemed a failure. But Ivanov's ambition and arrogance blinded him. He prepared for 3 more years before beginning a second round of experiments. This time, he succeeded in creating a hybrid creature that was reportedly aggressive and bore traits of both humans and monkeys. This creature turned out to be extremely hostile, even attacking Ivanov on multiple occasions. Eventually, he considered it a threat and decided to destroy it himself. What Ivanov failed to realize was that he was not challenging just science, but the divine order set by Allah, the creator of all things. As Allah states in the Quran, "Do they not look into the realm of the heavens and the earth and all that Allah has created?" 7:185. Ivanov's failure was not just scientific, it was spiritual. He ignored the signs of Allah in creation, choosing instead to pursue his misguided ambitions. During his time in Africa, however, Ivanov witnessed something that shook him to his core. One night under a starry sky, he observed a Muslim family praying. The peace and devotion with which they bowed before their Creator struck a chord in him. In that moment, he felt the vastness of the universe and the insignificance of his own pursuits. The simplicity and serenity of their prayers, combined with the humility they displayed, began to unravel the pride that had dominated Ivanov's life. Later, he approached a Muslim scholar working at a nearby research facility. This scholar became instrumental in Ivanov's journey to Islam. The scholar explained, "Science without morality is like a ship without a compass. Knowledge is a gift from the Creator, meant to benefit, not destroy." The scholar also shared verses from the Quran that emphasize the sanctity of life and the divine balance in creation. We have certainly created man in the best of stature. 95:4. Do not transgress in the balance. And establish weight in justice, and do not make deficient the balance. 55:8, 9. The scholar then spoke of the unique status of humans in creation, explaining that Allah has endowed humans with intellect and a moral compass. He said, Ivanov, your experiments reflect a desire to control what belongs to Allah alone. Only the Creator has the right to alter His creation, and He has made it perfect in balance. Your pursuit, though ambitious, ignores this divine order. Ivanov listened intently. He was not a man easily swayed by words, but something about the scholar's sincerity and the Quranic verses touched him deeply. For the first time in his life, he began to reflect on the arrogance that had defined his existence. Could it be that the purpose of life was not to dominate, but to submit to the Creator? Over the following weeks, Ivanov engaged in long discussions with the scholar, learning about the Islamic perspective on ethics, purpose, and the role of humanity in the grand design of creation. The scholar introduced him to the Quran, encouraging him to reflect on its message. As Ivanov read verses about creation, justice, and the signs of Allah in the universe, he felt a deep connection to its wisdom, and he created everything and measured it with precise measurement. 25:2. We will show them our signs in the horizons and within themselves until it becomes clear to them that it is the truth. 41:53. One night, overwhelmed by guilt and a sense of humility, Ivanov fell to his knees under the same starry sky where he had first seen the Muslim family praying. He cried out, "O Creator, if you exist, guide me to the truth." This heartfelt plea marked the beginning of his transformation. In the days that followed, Ivanov experienced an inner peace he had never felt before. He studied the Quran and the teachings of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, with greater focus. He learned that Islam values knowledge and science, but within the boundaries of morality and ethics. He discovered that true progress lies not in challenging the Creator's wisdom, but in aligning oneself with it. After months of introspection and study, Ivanov embraced Islam. He repented for his past actions and vowed to dedicate his knowledge to serving humanity. His conversion was not merely a change of religion, but a transformation of his entire worldview. Ivanov abandoned his unethical experiments and began working on projects that promoted harmony between humans and nature. He became an advocate for ethical, scientific practices, warning others about the dangers of arrogance and the importance of humility before Allah. Ivanov's story serves as a powerful reminder that no matter how far one has strayed, there is always a path back to righteousness. Allah is the most merciful, and His guidance is available to all who seek it sincerely. Say, O my servants who have transgressed against themselves by sinning, do not despair of the mercy of Allah. Indeed, Allah forgives all sins. 39:53. Let us reflect on the lessons from this story. Science is a blessing, but it must be guided by faith and ethics. The pursuit of knowledge should lead us closer to Allah, not away from Him. Ivanov's journey reminds us that the greatest discovery a person can make is not in the laboratory, but in their own heart. The discovery of faith and submission to the Creator. Let us know your thoughts on this remarkable story. Until next time, take care of yourself and your loved ones. May Allah's peace and blessings be upon you all.